Hi, welcome to Freezer Meals 101. I'm Christy.
I'm Charla, and today we are doing meal prep with rotisserie chickens. This is taking one of the steps away because you don't have to cook your chicken first. So we're gonna be making so many different recipes. We don't actually know how many because it depends how much chicken we end up with. So we bought 4 rotisserie chickens. We're gonna make as many recipes as we possibly can. We're gonna make these into more individual size. So these are perfect for lunches, or if you live on your own, these are great for dinners. We are gonna get so many different fun things on the go today.
That's right, and stay tuned because you know if you have this many rotisserie chickens, we have to make chicken broth. We have to.
We have to.
And maybe we'll make a soup, maybe we'll just bag it up and throw it in the freezer because you can do that too.
Absolutely. So we have so much to show you today. We're really glad that you're with us, and stay tuned to learn all about how to do your own meal prep. We have a video. I'm going to pop it right up there, but we'll also put it in the description down below. And that video walks you through exactly how to get all of the meat off your rotisserie chicken, how to do it the quickest way, the most efficient way. And that is Christy's method, which she had come to teach me in that video.
And I am not going to say that it is the quickest way or the most efficient way. It's just the way I do it because it made the most sense to me at the time. But it works, it gets the job done, and you will end up with some really great shredded chicken out of it.
So because she is the expert, or at least out of the two of us, she's definitely the expert.
I'm the most comfortable touching chicken.
Yeah, that too. Let's be honest, that too. So I'm gonna ask her.
I'm
nicely.
offering. I am glad to be breaking down these chickens for you, and we'll just hop right to it.
I'm gonna get started doing some other prep while Christy's doing the chickens, and then we'll be able to dive into our recipes. So a really fast and easy way to shred your chicken is
using your hand mixer. It was very fast. For there being 4 birds in that bowl, it did go through very fast. It was good for me to go back over it and just get a few of the pieces that were having a hard time breaking up because there may have been a bit of membrane left or something, but it was so much faster than standing there with 2 forks going tink, 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 tink. You know, it was good, it was fast.
definitely
And that was a lot of chicken. Like, you saw that bowl of chicken.
a lot of chicken. Were we to do this again, we would buy 3 rotisserie chickens because we have chicken left over.
We have chicken left over.
And we had to kind of invent more recipes as we went. So for the first thing that we made was chicken burritos, and all I did is throw 2 cups of the shredded chicken into a skillet, put a can of black beans that are drained, a can of corn that was drained, some red pepper that's chopped, onion that's diced or minced, and a little bit of salsa. Now, if you were making these for a large family size and you were going to be cooking them in the oven, then you wouldn't need to do this in the skillet. You could just roll them right into your flour tortilla. But because these will probably just be reheated in the microwave, I just went ahead and wanted to like get the onion softened a bit and the red pepper softened. You don't have to heat it for long. And then I allowed the mixture to cool, and then actually Christy rolled them because Christy is an expert burrito roller.
If you've been around for a while, you'll know that maybe Charla's expertise is not in burrito rolling.
No.
And I'm not an expert burrito roller, but I get the job done and they stay together.
And so we just add the mixture and some cheese on top of that and roll them in a flour tortilla, and then roll them in tin foil and get that into a large freezer bag, and then your burritos are done. Now, we ended up with 10 burritos. These have so much nutrition in there, and they are going to be great to have. I've got teenagers, and so does Christy. I've got actually teenagers and young adults. And so these are really good for hungry people.
They are good for hungry people. They're fast and they're easy. They're great to have.
You can just microwave them, or if you wanted to cook a whole bunch at once, you could of course you want to take them out of the foil to microwave them as well. My goodness, sorry that we forgot to mention that. But if you're wanting to make them for a whole family, you could take them all out of the foil and put them into a baking dish and bake it right in your oven if you wanted. You could actually put some extra cheese right on top of that and bake that up, and then serve it with some sour cream and salsa and guacamole.
So good. That makes me hungry just thinking about that. That's really good. The white chicken enchiladas, this was a new recipe for us, and it was a little bit involved because you had to make the mix for the tortillas, which is fine, but we had to make the sauce for it. And in this case, you were making a roux. We had some butter and flour, and we had to mix that together and let it thicken up. Then we added in the chicken broth, as well as some sour cream and some salsa verde. And it says very explicitly in the instructions, taste it now. And be a chef. If you need more spice, go ahead and add more salsa verde. So I did that. I added a little bit more spice and a little bit of onion powder. The filling is really simple. It's our shredded chicken. We added in some cheese and some cream cheese that had been softened. And you saw there that I just mixed it all together and made a wonderful filling. And this one is going to be dynamite. We get it into our little teeny tiny trays. That is a perfect single serving. When we go to cook these, I think they probably can be cooked from frozen, probably for 35 minutes or 40 minutes maybe if they're from frozen. If you've thawed it first, 20-25 minutes with the lid off, and they will brown up. There is something in the sauce that allows it to brown, and then, we've sprinkled cheese on top, so it's partly that, but also then you can broil it if you want to really get it good and crispy and get some color on there.
Now, we did end up with 4 of our small size containers, but we had a few more, so we put them in a loaf pan so that we could try it.
Have some lunch.
Because it's a new recipe to us, and we want to make sure that it's good. So we had a little bit of fun with that.
Because it does make a lot of sauce. I will tell you, we had a little bit of sauce left over. I think if we were making this in one big 9x13 pan, the sauce would have been fine.
Yeah. But it did make too much for our little individual things here. Next, I made some buffalo chicken quesadillas. I wanted to make those early because they did need to lay flat in the freezer and then get transferred into the freezer bag. So I wanted to do it while we still had some room in the freezer. So all I did is take some of our shredded chicken and mix it in a bowl with some Frank's Red Hot sauce so that you get that good buffalo chicken taste. And then on our flour tortillas, I put cheese, shredded cheese on half of it. I used some habanero blend, but you could use Tex-Mex or Monterey Jack. And then I put some sliced jalapenos, red pepper, white onion, and I of course added that buffalo chicken there, and then just folded over the other half and got those into the freezer to flash freeze flat. And then once they're fully frozen, I transferred them into a large freezer bag, got out all of the excess air, because when you're freezer cooking, you don't want air in your bags because that will cause freezer burn. And then they were done. So we ended up with 12 buffalo chicken quesadillas. So we're kind of considering that a serving would be 2 quesadillas. I like to have mine with homemade guacamole, which is delicious. And so that gave us another 6 meals.
That's right.
Now, one of the things when we plan one of these meal sessions is we try to pick things that have some similar ingredients. That cuts down on our prep, because we had diced red pepper in multiple things. So if you're gonna dice 1 red pepper, you might as well dice 2.
Absolutely.
Same with onions. We did only use zucchini in one thing and that kind of thing. But you know, again, we're with the chicken, we're prepping all the chicken at once, and then we're using it in a ton of recipes. But it also cuts down on cost if you can use ingredients in multiple recipes. So in this case, we went to Costco to get the rotisserie chickens, and then we also got a huge Costco pack of flour tortillas. Now, in the cute little white chicken enchiladas, we used teeny
tiny guys, right?
But in our quesadillas, we used the large ones. In our chicken burritos, we used the large ones. And then we also used large ones to make chicken taquitos.
Homemade taquitos are really fantastic. I know that you can get them at Costco. Sometimes I see them at 7-Eleven, and I'm really tempted to get them. I know that they're not good. They just look so good sitting there. I've had them. I'm disappointed every time. These ones will not disappoint you. We start out with our shredded chicken. We are going to mix in some softened cream cheese, some cilantro, some lime juice, some minced garlic, a little tin of green chilies, some cumin and chili pepper, and some salt. We're also going to add in our jalapeno jack cheese. I think today we used Tex-Mex.
Yes, because we had run out of jalapeno jack in the white chicken enchiladas.
The enchiladas. So you mix all these together in your bowl, and then we're just going to put a couple of tablespoons. Now, these are meal-sized tablespoons that we are putting on our large tortillas.
We probably used about 4 tablespoons per flour tortilla.
So a good solid 1/4 cup, if that's what you want to use as a scoop, perhaps. And right into the tortilla, and then we just roll them. There's no folding, there's nothing easy. There's nothing burrito about them. You just roll. You just roll it.
I can do this.
Charlotte can do these. So this is one that you would also want to put onto a cookie sheet and into the freezer and freeze them individually. What that does, in case we haven't mentioned it, is it prevents them from sticking together when you actually put them into your freezer bag. If they're already frozen, they should be good to go. On the day of cooking, you would want to put these on a cookie sheet with parchment paper. You want to brush them with your olive oil. Bake in the oven for 15 minutes or so. They should be thawed to do that. If you wanted to do them from frozen, I think you could probably do it, just extend your time a little bit. These would also good to go in the air fryer. You can preheat to 400. Make sure they're in a single layer in the bottom of your air fryer. You can spray or brush them with oil, and you can cook them for 6 to 9 minutes. You want to turn them, oil again, and another 3 to 5 minutes, and they will be perfectly cooked, depending on your air fryer. Sometimes, it's such a new technology. You find something works for your air fryer, it might not work for your friends. You got to adjust your times a little bit.
These enchilada bowls are so nice and healthy, and there is so much that you can do with this. So in a bowl, you're gonna mix together some onion, garlic, of course, your shredded chicken, some diced zucchini, shredded carrots. Now we bought our shredded carrots already shredded, so it just saved us a bit on the prep there. Some cumin, salt, pepper, black beans that are drained, corn that's drained, and enchilada sauce. You'll notice that we've used black beans and corn in more than one recipe, and we actually were able to buy both of those in a case lot sale. So we saved even more money by buying it in bulk, and getting, using them in multiple recipes, and we'll be using them in more in weeks to come. And the great thing about these is that I put them just in single serving containers that are microwave safe and freezer safe. But on the day that you go to serve this, there's so many options. You can do this with quinoa, with rice. You can cut up some corn tortillas and mix those in if you want to do that as your carb. You can add some fresh cubed avocado into these. You can do some fresh cilantro or sour cream. There's so many options for these chicken enchilada bowls. These would be a great lunch or dinner.
This is something that I would add fresh chopped lettuce or cabbage to, and then eat it with taco chips.
Oh, that sounds good.
Like almost like a dip. Because it's heavy and hearty, but nutritious, and I think I would like to do that.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, me too. They do look really good.
You could also add grated cheese if you just want to have them just as they are. Top them with cheese and melt that cheese as you cook them, and this would be really good.
Totally.
So this Sriracha fried rice is a really good one. You can find the recipe for this in the description down below. In a bowl, we are mixing together some rice that was cooked and cooled, and of course our shredded chicken. We've used about 3 cups of shredded chicken in this. Some soy sauce, oyster sauce, sesame oil, sriracha, which is really hard to find right now, but we did happen to have some, thankfully. A little bit of salt, some diced onion, minced garlic, and some frozen peas. Then we're just going to cook up some eggs. We're just using 3 eggs. We're just gonna beat those lightly, and just basically, if you can do scrambled eggs, just cook them up in a little bit of butter on your stove. You want to add a little bit of salt to your eggs as well. And then you're gonna cool those and add those into your bowl. So there are some steps to this one. Like, you've got to cook your rice. We used the pre-cooked chicken. You've got to cook up your eggs. But it's a nice full meal.
And a lot of times you'll find that the more prep and the more work it is up front, the faster it is to eat on the other end. So really, doing a day of prep, especially if you can get a friend to do it with, and then you split them. Do a day of prep and do a day and your assembly, and then when it's time to eat, it's just heat and eat. That's really, really the benefit that we're doing here. And look at the variety.
So much variety.
For having so many of the same ingredients, there really is a lot of different flavors here.
And I mean, this is all chicken, but we wanted to show you all the different options that you can do just with rotisserie chicken, and there's so many more options as well.
Now, don't forget, I did make the chicken stock. We had 4 carcasses in the stock pot. We added in some extra vegetables and
of our prep.
And I am not shy. We added in carrot peelings, and we added in, the ends of the onions, because that's okay, because you're going to strain it out later anyway. It all adds into the flavor. So one thing we skip when we are making chicken stock from scratch is celery, because Charlotte is allergic. So that is actually nice to be able to do it ourselves. We can control how much sodium goes in. We can control the ingredients that goes in. That is a wonderful thing about making your own chicken stock. So we had it on the stove.
Economical.
And it is economical, because I ended up with 7, almost 8 liters of chicken stock out of that. And that is like many, 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 many cups and ounces.
Yes.
It will go a long way. So typically we will let it cool. We'll put it into like the quart size bags, just throw a couple of cups in there, and right on it, 2 cups chicken broth, no celery.
Exactly.
Then we know that Charlotte can use it. We can use this in future freezer meals. You can use it for whatever.
Now, this was our plan, was just to make what we've told you about so far, but we had so much chicken left over, like so much. And so what we did with some of it is in a bowl, we just mixed together like some pre-done butter chicken sauce, just the kind you buy at Costco, because this was kind of a Costco meal thing.
This happened at Costco today. That's right.
And so we just mixed that in to some chicken, and then we made up containers with the butter chicken, some rice, because we actually had made extra rice when we realized that we had this extra chicken. We did this plan on the fly, and so we made extra rice when we were making the rice for the Sriracha rice. And then of course we had frozen peas because we used that in the Sriracha rice. So now we have this full meal.
These little butter chicken bowls.
Butter chicken and rice. Yes, so we're excited about those. And my family loves butter chicken.
Our family too. And if you didn't know, some butter chickens have cashews in them. And you found that out the hard way. The Costco butter chicken does not have cashews in it. So if you are a nut aware house, then you need to know that, right?
If your daughter just had a baby and you gave her butter chicken and she has a nut allergy and she ends up in the hospital 5 days postpartum with her throat closing.
You feel guilty for a really long time, and a year later we're still talking about it.
Yes. So, just be careful of the butter chicken. But yes, so we ended up with those extra meals as well. So here's where we're at. We've got well over 40 meals, and that's like you get to have 2 quesadillas and 2 taquitos for a serving, like all of that. We've got well over 40 meals, so that's like over a month's worth. And we had a lot of chicken left over. Like I said, we should have just bought the 3.
Now we know.
And so what we decided to do, because let's be real here, this morning we did our grocery shopping. Then we
did all the prep.
And Christy's got an appointment to get to, and so we could keep going. And the way my brain works is actually I get really excited to think of new recipes and like meals to invent, and like having cooked chicken, like this is fun for me. But the reality is we're out of time. And so we are just going to bag up that chicken in quart-size bags. We're going to take the air out. We're going to get it frozen. And, I might add a bit of like oil and taco seasoning or something to one so that we can have it for on top of nachos.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, we might play around a little bit, but we're pretty much done with like the meal stuff. And
that's right.
So out of 4 rotisserie chickens, we ended up with over 40 individual meals. However, it's really, you could have gotten that out of 3 rotisserie chickens.
Yeah, I really think you could have. So let's look at this. If you ever find a really great ground beef sale, I mean, rotisserie chickens aren't that expensive when you're making 40 meals out of it. And so in a few weeks, you see ground beef on sale, and you tune back into us and you find another video and you make a bunch of ground beef individual meals. And then a little while later, you make some vegetarian ones, and then you have such a variety happening in your freezer. You're going to be eating something different every day for lunch. You're not going to be stuck with all the leftovers. We really, really care about our empty nesters and our seniors that are living alone, or the couples that are getting up there and they're just sick and tired of cooking every day and eat the same thing all the time. There can be variety in your life, and we know that this will help you because we hear from our viewers all the time.
And so if you're looking for other recipes that you can do with the cooked chicken, you can just go in. If you're a member of our Freezer Meals 101 Club, just click the chicken button. You can do is it called pre-cooked?
There's pre-cooked is a keyword, or shredded chicken you can look for, and it will bring up all kinds of things for you to make, all kinds of recipes at the click of a button.
So we've had fun today. It's been, we're going to be honest and real because that's how we are. It's actually been pretty discombobulated in here. We had a plan and we stuck to our plan. But
we're doing more than our plan.
We ended up doing,
that happens sometimes. More than our plan. That's okay.
And we were also making some other things like some baking and stuff on the side because, why not? And so we've gotten a lot done today and we've had some fun.
We definitely have had some fun and we've had a good visit, and you should do freezer meals with your best friend because it really makes it all that much better.
So thank you for joining us today. I hope this helps you get yourself set with meal prep for your month. Really, it's not even for the week.
No, that's right. We can put another video right there of individual meals that are meatless. If you are looking for vegetarian meals, click that link and keep on watching. Get those freezers stacked.
Happy cooking.